Greetings and salutations, good people. My name is Otis James Bush Jr. This is OJB Cooking. Today we're going to be hooking up a chicken parm sandwich. Ooh, we finna cut up on this one. We're going to make ourselves a homemade marinara sauce. Let's get into a few of the ingredients here. So what we're going to need. We're going to need a can of whole tomatoes. What I read was that San Marzano is the apparently the ones that you want to get. These have the appropriate sweetness, picked at the right time, all that jazz. To that, we got some fresh basil, we got some garlic, we got assorted seasonings, including some, a little bit of cayenne, some Italian seasoning, some kosher salt. Might even throw a few extra things in there, just depending on how I'm feeling. And that's pretty much gonna make up the actual marinara sauce itself. Of course, for the chicken parm sandwiches, we're gonna need some chicken. Got some boneless, skinless chicken breast. Check that out. We got mozzarella cheese. I actually bought a couple different kinds just in case. We're gonna do a breaded mix that's primarily flour, and we also have a little bit of cornstarch to make that nice and crispy. And of course, we'll go through and mix all of that up. Of course, you need some vegetable oil. You need some buns. I mean, you need a bunch of random different things. But of course, we'll go through all the ingredients as we go through the video. I'll even leave the notes down at the bottom. So you can check that out. And of course, I'll make note of any adjustments that I make along the way so that you all can tweak it as you see fit as you go along. And while you're all here, checking this out, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, you know what I mean? Like, comment, subscribe for a real true G. I appreciate it. And as always, come on with me. All right, now the first thing we'll do is make our buttermilk bath. We're going to use 2 cups of buttermilk. Get that in there, real smooth like. 2 times, and then we're gonna season that up to taste. I'm gonna use a little kosher salt here. I'm gonna start trying to do a few measurements for y'all moving forward, but I'll be honest, I season everything to taste. That's just rule of thumb. We're gonna do a little garlic powder. Get that in there. Don't get in there. Of course, some cayenne pepper, because I'm a Louisiana boy. You heard me? Get that in there, and I use a generous amount of that in here, as well as the dry mix that you'll see later. Got a little Italian seasoning. Get that in there. Got a little accent. We're gonna throw that in there, aka MSG. I heard that is good when frying chicken. Last but not least, we got some good old black pepper, and we just gonna give a healthy amount of a twist on that. My bad, I forgot about the sriracha. Forgot about it. There we go. We'll mix that up. Get that a good mix. Hit it with the whisk. The wrist action. Right. So now we're gonna get our chicken breast out after we clean that, of course. Gotta clean your chicken. We'll lay this out here on some saran wrap in between 2 saran wrap pieces, and then we're gonna beat the brakes off of it. The reason why I'm doing this is to flat the chicken out, especially those thicker sides, so make sure it cooks nice and even. And that just make sure it come out, as you fry it up. What you don't want is uneven, chicken. And then once we beat it down and get it nice and even, we will get it into our mixture. Make sure we coat all the pieces nice and evenly. And you can marinate this anywhere from 4 hours or overnight, however you see fit. All right, now we're gonna move on to our marinara sauce. We're using a can of San Marzano Tomatoes. Again, those are to be used because of their particular characteristics. And we just gonna mash those up real nice like. Next we gonna get some olive oil into our pan. I used about probably about 1/3 of a cup. I think that was too much olive oil. In the end, y'all see a little excess oil run off. We got about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. I'm just gonna get that in there, let it saute just for a second. You don't want to let it brown. And then once we saute it just a bit in the oil, we're gonna add our tomatoes. We're gonna get that in there. All right, now to this we're gonna add a little kosher salt. Again, season the taste. I'll try to start taking some measurements on this. We're gonna add some Italian seasoning as well. Gonna get that in there. See, add that to taste. We got some red pepper flakes. Add a generous amount of those. Guys, you ought to know by now. I like it a little spicy. We gotta stir. Now, once we bring it to a simmer, we're gonna add a large fresh basil sprig, and we're just gonna let that continue to simmer. And eventually, we're gonna submerge our basil sprig and it's gonna ride out almost to the end with us until we pull it out of the mixture. We'll continue to let that do what it do. As you can see, we're coming along nicely, coming to a nice simmer. And we just will continue to stir and simmer and reduce this until we get to a nice saucy consistency, because we definitely don't want any runny sauce. Right. So we're going to repurpose our mixture from earlier, our buttermilk bath, and we're going to add a couple of eggs, and we're going to turn this into a wash. We'll use about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, going to add about a tablespoon of cornstarch. Again, that just helps make it crisp up. We're going to add us garlic powder, again, seasoning the taste. A little black pepper, never hurt nobody. And a little bit more MSG, aka accent. Again, my research told me to throw it in, so I did. And finally, a little sea salt. And of course, the cayenne pepper. Get on in there. Get at a nice wisp. Stir it all around and mix it up nice and appropriate. Now we got our dry and our wet mixture. We're going to get this into the dry mix, and guys, we want to make sure we coat this really nicely. Flip it a few times, push it down in there, and then you want to get it into your wet mixture, and then we go back into the dry and again get it on in there. Now I sped this up, but I took my time with this. I wanted to make sure I get every nook and cranny, because we're dropping into high grease. What we want is to get a nice flaky gnarly crust on that chicken breast that go good with our sandwich and absorb some of that good sauce that we're going to throw on it. So as you can see, I got it good. This is just me checking the temperature. And we'll go ahead and drop that on in. And of course, if you drop your chicken and it don't immediately start bubbling like this, your grease was not hot enough. I recommend getting your grease up to anywhere from 355, 375 degrees. And just make sure that your grease is nice and hot. I gave this a flip about halfway through, and I fried these up for about 5 to 6. I even did one of them about 7 minutes because I took the temperature and it wasn't quite right. So of course, when you're dealing with chicken, you don't want to risk it. Just checking that temperature, making sure it's good. And now you can see it's get to a nice brown texture and consistency. By now, you got ready to do that. Golden and brown. I see. Now it's time to plate it. Le plate. A little bit of sauce on the bottom bun. In retrospect, probably wouldn't do that. Add the crispy chicken breast. A couple of slices of mozzarella cheese. And then, of course, the beautiful sauce. 1 time. 2 times. 3 times. I think I might even come back for a 4th time. I got a little carried away with the sauce. I'm not gonna front. I was a big fan of the sauce. Little mess ain't never hurt nobody. Then we add the bun, and we in the game, people. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. We ready. We in the game, coach. Now let's see what it do. All right, good people. Moment of truth. Trying to see what it do. This is a big old sandwich, so I'm about to cut this boy in half. You heard me? You heard me? Now that we got our pictures, you know what I mean? Now that we got that, you feel? Now that we got all that taken care of, man, we can go ahead and see what the business is. Finally. That's really damn good. I ain't gonna front on y'all. I also will not front on y'all, because I have to admit, frying chicken is that BS, man. Frying chicken is tough. It is hard, gritty work, and I was not ready. However, the fruits of my labor, you know what I mean? Next time I won't take so many pictures because my bread did get a little bit soggy, but other than that, whoa. Fire.
Damn good sandwich right there. Cold.
Thank you, good people, for joining me again on another culinary adventure. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you don't mind, and join me for the next video. In the meantime, y'all be easy. Peace.